Well, it's a murder case now that's been going on for a little more than a decade. Just as jurors went to deliberate the fate of Bessman Okafor, a mistrial was ruled because of a juror.
Now, Okafor will be in court going through the death penalty trial for a third time. This is inside the courtroom where it all took place. Okafor was originally sentenced to death in 2015 for killing 19-year-old Alex Zaldivar. But with new laws in place, prosecutors were working to get that death sentence reinstated. News 6's Brian Didlake is at the Orange County Courthouse. And Brian, has the court said what will happen next?
Well, Lisa, Matt, the state attorney's office says that they're going to be investigating if any further actions need to be taken for this mistrial. Meanwhile, Rafael Zaldivar, the victim's father in all of this, says for one juror to cause this mistrial was disappointing.
Last night,
I was livid. I was emotionally drained.
Rafael Zaldivar says that's what he felt after leaving the Orange County Courthouse Wednesday.
And at this time, I'm declaring a mistrial and excusing you as jurors in this case.
A judge declared a mistrial in the sentencing phase of the Bessman Okafor case after a juror's actions.
Dismissing you as a juror in this case, I'm going to find that you're an indirect criminal contempt, instruct the state of Florida to file charges against you.
Zaldivar says jurors reached out to him explaining what happened.
The messages were that there was a problem in the courtroom with juror 370, and apparently that she had talked to a friend that knew my son.
Okafor was originally sentenced to death in 2015 after killing 19-year-old Alex Zaldivar, who was slated to testify against Okafor in a home invasion case. That sentence was overturned after the state Supreme Court ruled a death sentence requires a unanimous vote of jurors. Prosecutors were working to get that death sentence reinstated after a new law went into effect last April, requiring only 8 of 12 jurors to agree.
You sit there and then on the very last day, to pull something like that. She could have done it on Monday and told the judge she would have been dismissed.
And going from here, what could that juror face?
So there could be consequences here. And, I wouldn't be surprised if the court took some action to send a message about the gravity and seriousness of serving on a jury.
Besides being held in contempt of court, News 6 legal analyst Steve Kramer says that juror could be charged with perjury or could be jailed and fined. Kramer says this mistrial is going to cost the county.
You've got other jurors that are inconvenienced. Even when you talk about the defense attorneys, now have to be retained for potentially a new trial. This is something that costs a great deal of money and frankly, heartache.
Zaldivar leaving this message for the juror.
I'm sure she will see this in the future. There's no ill intention, but, there are consequences when you take an oath.
Now Zaldivar says he is looking to do another retrial and says he and prosecutors are looking to do this around next year, around February or March. For now, we are live here in Orlando. Brian Didlake getting results. News 6.